All right, welcome back. We are about to conclude the show, but before that, because we've decided we work with 50,000 rent instead of 30. But what were you telling me behind the scene, that actually it's 30,000 Kenyan shillings that a lot of Kenyans live on?
The average salary across Nairobi is around 30,000 on gross.
Okay,
yes.
So you've heard that the average salary for a Kenyan on gross is just 30,000. But for this specific exercise we're about to do, we're going to put it at 50,000. And Biko has already started taking us through it. Biko, please take us through it. He's already started doing the calculations. Biko?
So basically, we have new pay-as-you-earn rates.
Okay.
Based on the 2017 pay-as-you-earn, the finance bill. So if you're earning, say, 50,000, so we're looking at 30% of that going to pay-as-you-earn. We're looking at now 1.5% going to the housing project. We're looking at NSSF and NHIF. Those are the core issues that I'm looking at someone who just a salaried employee. They go to work, they go home. There are no many ulabalus around their money.
Exactly.
So we're looking at pay-as-you-earn, which is 30%. We're looking at housing levy, which is 1.5. Then we're looking at NSSF and NHIF.
Okay.
Basically, out of these four, if you look at from someone who's earning 50,000, that will be around 30. We'll be looking at 18,000 shillings gone.
Okay. So what we're saying is that what you've already begun calculating here is a 30% on pay-as-you-earn from a 50,000 Kenyan salary, which now is about 15,000 Kenyan shillings.
Yes.
We pay, let's give our person a name, John. So John then pays NSSF and NHIF about 2,000.
Give or take in gross.
In gross.
Because I know the government wanted the NSSF contribution and NHIF contribution increased. So we've put that on the higher side.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's 17,000.
That's 17,000. Now plus the 1.5 for the housing.
17,000, so we're only left with 33,000 to work with.
Yes.
And this 33,000, we still have to pay the 1.5 when it comes to the housing.
There's the 1.5 for housing.
Right.
And then assuming you're getting your salary via the bank, there are going to be bank charges on it. Set by the bank now.
Okay.
Yes, so maybe give or take remove another 500 shillings from that.
Okay, so for every single bank transaction that I make, if I'm sending you money, if I'm receiving money, it has to be taxed.
There'll be a fee to that.
There'll be a fee to that.
Yes.
And have we paid KRA yet?
Yes, now we've removed the KRA bit to that. And now, given that the fact that the mobile phones had given us the convenience, you know, you get your money, you get your salary into your bank account, you pull it into your M-Pesa via your mobile transaction. So this has gone up by 20%. So when you're pulling it from your bank account onto your M-Pesa, that's 20%. We want to now start paying the bills. The other aspect that we're not realizing is that our bills are going to be greatly impacted by this finance bill.
Clearly.
Because now we're looking at electricity, we buy through the phone. We're looking at maybe you're paying DSTV, you're paying your insurance premium, you're paying your motor insurance premium monthly, you're paying for your groceries.
Transportation.
You're paying for, you're going to buy fuel, which is actually gone up by 8% now. So at the end of the day, when you look at this, and the one thing that I don't think the government has actually thought is that Kenyans will no longer have any disposable income to be able to save or invest. And that brings me back to John, our character. Yes. So we are left, after all of this hullabaloo, we are left with about 33,000. John hasn't paid rent yet. So you haven't paid rent, you haven't paid bills, you haven't sent money home for your father and mother. You've not been able to pay school fees. You've not paid your insurance premium or your medical cover. So there are 6 key issues that you've not really looked at the end of the day. So how will 33,000 help us do all that? We haven't done grocery shopping, we haven't paid rent, we haven't sent money to our folks. We haven't paid your debts for last month. I haven't put aside money for investment, e.g. saving. I don't think Kenyans are going to worry about now being able to save or invest. So what does that mean? There's no point. And this is a problem that the myopic foresight that this government has not been able to see. Without any money for Kenyans to save, or without any money for Kenyans to be able to invest, the economy is not going to grow. And okay, so here we are telling the younger generation, invest, save your money, don't rely on a 9-to-5 job, you know, be entrepreneurial. This will in return help the economy. But then we have put Kenyans against the wall. How do you do that with 33,000? This is not a country for young people. unfortunately. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm not trying to fight the government.
Right.
I've actually tried to work with them, try to come up with ways, give them our ideas and solutions. But unfortunately, the reality is what it is. It's not a country for young people. Being an entrepreneur right now, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
For me, yesterday we were discussing with my friend. He's not been able to pay salaries for 3 months for his employees.
Oh, no.
So he's trying to figure out where, when he gets the money, pay them up and fire them, close shop and look for other means, because it's become very difficult. If you're an entrepreneur working in the service sector or doing transportation or import or export, it's going to be very difficult to survive, because now the amount of taxes that one has to pay actually increase. And this is just from a national outlook. We've not looked at the county taxation that are actually going to increase, because now this will have a ripple effect to the county. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see county assemblies passing laws in tandem with the Finance Act 2018 mm-hmm. to be able to, the amendment, the mm-hmm. Finance Act Amendment 2018, to be able to play the same, to be able to see what they can be able to do. So right. For me, someone mm-hmm. earning 50,000 is going to actually be very difficult.
And what is on
them to survive.
I just want to let our viewers know what is on the screen is the calculation that Biko just did. We gave our character John. So John has to first, John earns about what, 50,000 Kenyan shillings, and out of the 30% on pay as you earn, it will cost him 15,000. John still has to pay NSSF and HIF, which is about, what, 2,000 Kenyan shillings. So this is already 17,000. So John has about 33,000 Kenyan shillings. John hasn't paid rent. John hasn't bought groceries. John hasn't sent money to his family. And this is Nairobi. Transportation, airtime, nothing. So then that means for a young person who was looking to start their business this year, what would you advise them, Biko? Do they hold off?
Well, the best time to start a business is now.
How
is yesterday
now?
Or now. I mean, at the end of the day, Wahenga alisema, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So I think, for me, I will not advise anyone to quit. I think you readjust your focus and you look at what's important and you have to get going. Because at the end of the day, we somehow have to survive, because we all can't close shop. And we all can't say that, no, because it's tough, I can't be able to start my business idea. For example, for us, like what we're going to do at Soko is basically try and see how best to be able to keep moving, to be able to keep looking for more business. Because at the end of the day, what the government doesn't realize that is with them forcing all these regulations on us and all this taxation, there's going to be a slow in capital circulation. And a slow in capital circulation means more job losses, means no slow growth in business. I saw someone talking about the economy having a 7 high growth this year. And I was wondering, whatever marijuana they're smoking, I want some of it. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to share something whereby where we're looking at the top 10 growth, the top 10 budget allocation mm-hmm. for the economy. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at defense getting 870.
The defense,
billion. We're looking at teacher salary at 226 billion. I mean, our debt service, we're actually paying almost 1 trillion. We're looking at teachers' salaries at 226 billion, Ministry of Interior at 108 billion, Defense at 98 billion, Basic Education at 87 billion, Pensions at 86 billion, Treasury at 68 billion. Where is agriculture? Where is agro-processing? Where is tourism? Where is manufacturing? Where is production? These are the
things that will actually now bring in
the issues that will actually be able to support the Big Four agenda. And nowhere in top 5 or even top 10 in terms of budget allocation for 2018-2019.
So, Biko, what would you advise a young Kenyan right now in terms of what lifestyle changes do they need to make, especially keeping in mind that young Kenyan who wanted to start
I think
business?
Right now we're going to survival mode. Pay your rent, have your transport ready, have your food ready, have your insurance, medical cover. Those 4. Medical cover is important because should you get sick, right now, I don't think people will be able even to come to your aid in terms of fundraising. So once you have those 4 key issues done, the little you have save or invest, however tough. And I know people will say, but there's nothing to save. I think right now the stock market will present the best opportunity to save, because now a lot of companies are going to be hit hard. When there's blood in the market, it's the best time to invest. And I believe that this will turn around.
And John can invest with 33,000.
Well, for John, it's a bit difficult. And if he's a married man, then maybe him and his wife can come together and see what to do. I mean, for a couple, I think coming together, for a couple, that means that's 100,000 shillings.
You know, the way in Western countries, you find people have 2-3 jobs. They work, let's say, from 6 a.m. to 12 noon on this job, from 12 noon to a certain period, 6 p.m., they're working at a different place, etc. Do you see this society turning out like that? Because now Kenyans will now have to do a lot of moonlighting. Kenyans will have to do a lot of, you know, side hustles just to make sure that they meet the needs and just to make sure that they're going that extra mile to invest and secure their future.
For the last 1 week, we've been studying business behavior change to see if new trends are coming up, to see what businesses are doing to survive. And the interesting thing I noticed is, for example, let's take commercial sex workers. They'll come to the streets around 11, 12. Now they're coming to the streets at 7 or 8
p.m.
We're looking at shops that normally close, mobile shops that normally close early at 7, 8, they're closing at 11. People are trying to survive. The only problem is there's a lot of insecurity. We're not a 24-hour economy. We don't have the mechanism to support a 24-hour economy. Whether it's Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, we don't. So businesses might want to do moonlighting. Businesses might try and do things in a different way, but they're not able to because of how the infrastructure is set.
Same thing to
and the fact that power is now going to be very expensive, transportation is going to be very expensive, and insecure, which will mean with the rate of unemployment going high, a lot of young people are going to turn to crime to be able to survive. So you see, we are caught. It's a 22 catch situation, and it's unfortunate because the president started off his second term on a very good idea of the Big Four agenda. And for me, I thought that these 4 areas will get the boost or the gist of the budget allocation. But unfortunately, it's not. If 1 trillion of our budget is going to paying debt, I mean, at the end of the day, and I don't see any impact of the SGR for the next 50 years. So I don't see, I'm hoping Parliament will wake up and realize that things are bad.
Wow.
And our Kenyans will go to the streets to be able to turn back this, because now, the service industry was what was pushing the economy forward. You know, internet, money, mobile services, mobile phone development technology. Now we're taxing this heavily, so it's gonna reduce the investment into it. And I think we're losing a lot of foreign direct investment to Rwanda, for example. Rwanda is actually coming up as a destination for foreign direct investment, and this was our opportune time to be able to do this. But unfortunately, we're driving a lot of investors because, one, our regulations are too high, our judicial process is too complicated, politics is interfering with the country, and the worst thing is corruption. And the one thing I've been avoiding talking about corruption, but every year we lose 700 billion to corruption. If Uhuru was very serious in sorting out his legacy, we could have gone after every corrupt individual in the country, recover all that money, because we can recover almost 10 trillion of corruption proceeds, pay off our debts at a go, reduce taxation to Kenyans, let Kenyans have a lot of disposable income to invest, let the economy grow, and then now have balanced regulations to be able to ensure that we maintain the economy better.
Wow. Biko, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you for helping us and breaking it down for us, even to the common wananchi with just 50,000 Kenyan shillings and what it can do. And even, of course, helping us understand the larger scope.
Thank you.
Steve Biko, he's a market and investment analyst. He's been helping us understand what this means for the common Kenyan, you and I. But before we close off the show,